Good afternoon, everyone. We are here in Elk River, Hillside City Park, and as you can see, the terrain is different. Being that there's snow and we're in the middle of February, I don't normally, this would actually be the first like snow biking video I've ever done or filmed. In the past, GoPro equipment didn't like the cold weather, so I never did one in the snow. Hillside City Park has some nice signage here, along with when it comes to fat biking and protecting the groomed trails. The volunteers take their time to groom for our enjoyment. We got some nice signage here of what to do and what not to do and what's recommended. 1.5 to 4 psi on groomed surfaces is preferred. It doesn't dig into the trail, and it kind of floats on the surface, which is ideal and provides you more traction. So, as I can say, respect the trail for the benefit of all trail users. So, nice signage here. Some of my go-to trails lately, and thought I'd finally do a fat biking video. My trusty steed here. Tried and true salsa bear grease. This is the winter setup. It's on 26s, Dillinger 4s, studded tires. You got your bar mitts to protect you from the wind on your hands. This bike, I've owned this bike for 4 years. It is bomb-proof. And what I really like about it is it's extremely versatile. It fits any wheel size, 26, 27.5, 29s. It has a lot of areas to put bike packing bags on, so therefore this is my bike packing rig for most times in the summer when I choose to go out on an adventure ride. It also takes a full suspension or a front fork, a Bluto or something similar. Which is nice. It could be rigid, it could be a hardtail. And in the summer, I can put a dropper post in too, which is nice, especially when I'm riding it just for hardtail purposes. I can use it as a backup bike when the full suspension bike maybe is out of commission or getting work done. So very versatile, really good value for the money. And what I like is that Salsa does a very good job on their websites when you look at these bikes of answering literally every question you could possibly think of when wanting to purchase one of these fat bikes. So it will answer in the comment section and frequently asked questions. Any kind of conversion you would like to do to it. Is it compatible with this, compatible with that? They leave no question unanswered, it seems like, and I really appreciate that. And that's at the top of my list is versatility in a bike. If I can use it for more than one reason or one discipline, it improves the value for me and makes it more justifiable to have in the garage. So just my little spiel on salsa bear grease. I highly recommend it. Let's get to the groomed trails though. It's a nice, warm, 26-degree day. We haven't had one of those in, I think, 2 weeks. Had a nice little polar vortex come through, and we were flirting with -20 for a while, so it's nice to see it out of the negatives. It feels like summer now though, however, with the 20 temps, believe it or not. So it's just gonna be nice sunny day. Prime conditions early in the year. There's a nice snow base, groomed base on the trails, so it's not rutting as much, and it's just been built up over the months, and it provides a good surface to ride on. And these are the months that are the best for snow biking, it seems like. So, all right, let's get to it. Oh man, just perfect conditions today. Also, another reason I wanted to come out today is, and I'm about to find out, is if the new GoPro Hero 9 Black really lives up to the hype that it's come a long way with their hyper smooth stabilization technology built in. And then also I got the max lens mod to unlock their horizon lock mode, which is the game changer because the gimbal provided horizon lock on that, and GoPro just never get it quite right. So it's been what, 16 years since the first GoPro got released, and it's been the one crux that or challenge, should I say, that they've been trying to do, is to incorporate stabilization abilities of what the gimbal provides into the camera without needing the gimbal. And I've been using that setup for about four or 5 years now, and I can tell you, I've been hoping for this day for a very long time. See some pretty good reviews lately on this camera, and how far it's come, and I finally pulled the trigger. I had a GoPro Hero 4 Silver prior, and I've had that for ever since I started filming. So I just wasn't convinced until this one that's finally achieved it and could possibly kill the gimbal. Don't need it anymore. one less thing to worry about for batteries, malfunctions when taping, less equipment on your body to be holding, but still the same benefits. That it provides. So this video is going to confirm, from what I've been seeing on reviews, is really true and will be my GoPro setup moving forward. They also improved the battery life. People are saying it runs for a good 2 hours now. The batteries to get bigger, the camera got a little bit bigger. I think that's a good trade-off. Past batteries, I had to carry maybe 5 to 6 of them on a long ride just to make sure I had that taken care of. And they last about 45 minutes a piece, so that is also a great improvement that made me pull the trigger on this camera. So, a big victory. Every time I was in a group ride, I'd be the guy holding them up for the sake of filming purposes to either change the battery or troubleshoot the gimbal, and just to remove those frustrations, even becoming a problem, is huge. So thank you, GoPro. I'm sure my riding buddies would also say the same. So oh man, Hillside's so fun. This first section and second section especially, they're more flowy pump track sections, and to be able to do this in the snow is pretty awesome. This is one of the Mork Mountain Bike Association trails that they support and groom and volunteer and take time to get it to this shape and keep it in this shape. And happy to be a member of it and to donate money for the sake of what you're seeing right now. So they groom a lot of trails on the metro, which is fantastic because I'm not one to want to be on a trainer in the winter. I'm an outdoors guy through and through, so be able to pedal in the winter in Minnesota is definitely something I don't take for granted, and it's fantastic. It keeps me in shape, gets me outdoors, and it's just fun. One of the funnest exercises I know, so to have this option is just amazing. It's just pretty out. section 1, this is section 2. So due to the weather conditions, I haven't really done any fat biking videos just because the GoPro equipment doesn't like it. But I've been doing this for roughly 4 years now, so. And just wanted to share with you, anyone that's like a beginner looking into getting into this, want to pass on the wisdom and research I've done and the experience that ultimately what are good tips, what's good advice when you're getting started and you're just unaware of what's needed, what's truly a priority, what's just a nice luxury when it comes to this. So I guess I would start with just saying that obviously your hands and feet, keeping those warm is probably priority number one. You're not gonna ride if you're in pain. Obviously, if your fingers are cold and your feet are cold, you're not gonna enjoy it. So being able to address that it's possible without buying nice gear. I did it I was stubborn and stuck with it for about three of the years, where I was just wearing a couple layers of wool socks and my hiking boots, and it worked. Like, I would say, yeah, definitely go that route to see if you truly like this and you're gonna stick with it. It's an investment. The gear is not cheap. The gear is nice, like I have now, but it is definitely something you can get around for a while, just to feel things out and see if this is something you want to do in the winter. It's an outdoor activity. When it comes to hands, that's a little bit more attainable because bar mitts for your handlebars, you can get those fairly cheap. I've seen them around 30 bucks or so. And that's just to stop the wind hitting your hands, which you wouldn't think it, but it saves. It makes a big difference keeping your hands warm. It's actually surprising how much that contributes to keeping your temp down on your hands. So that one's a little more attainable, so I would say get bar mitts. And then if it's something you're trying it a couple times, the next step is, I would say, focus on getting studded tires. Ice is gonna happen, and it's your worst enemy, especially when it's hidden under the snow. I had a couple of really rough crashes one season where we didn't get a lot of snow, but it was cold out, and there was a weird rainstorm that came through that year. Basically an ice rink out there. It was open, the trails were open, but it was extremely dangerous. Without studded tires, you just didn't have a chance. And I, of course, just ignored that and tried to ride the trails. And sure enough, like, you'd be surprised at how quickly you'll fall on ice with non-studded tires, even if they're fat bike tires. It was enough to scare me, or to make me realize that it's worth the investment. They're not cheap by no means, but literally I justified it by saying it's cheaper than a medical bill. I hit my head a couple times really hard, and I was like, yep, there's no way around this. I gotta get studded tires. And the nice thing about it is that it allows you to ride more too, and various other places when the trails might be closed. I think that was my one big realization this year, is that yeah, sometimes the single track trails are going to be closed due to temperature, or you can still ride your bike with studded tires, not have to worry about ice on pavement, paved trails, double track. There's just other options that studded tires provide you that non-studded don't. So that'd be up on the top of the list. It helps also to ride, the enjoyment of the ride, but knowing that you don't have to be scared to cut sharp into a corner, man, that peace of mind is really nice. My crashes both happened when I was turning around a corner and not knowing there was ice underneath. So it'll keep you healthy. It allows you to enjoy your ride more thoroughly, and it provides much more options for you to ride when the single track snow trails are closed. So I've gotten to the point where I've gotten nice winter gear now, and it's just because I've been doing it for a few seasons now that just something, hey, you know, holidays come around, present, any gift ideas, you know, I usually put biking gear on it. So it's just something I've accumulated over time. And it is worth it. The price tags are big, but you definitely understand it once you wear it and use it in real life situations. So I've gotten the Bontrager Old Man Winter snow biking pants, extremely nice. Gotten the Bontrager Old Man Winter biking boots, also a big fan of those. Gotten a winter jacket / rain bike jacket that has vents similar to what Bontrager has for their jacket as well. So I use that for all season long. So I use that as my jacket. And then if temperatures are like around the 20s, I normally don't wear another base layer underneath my pants, and I just wear a long sleeve shirt underneath my jacket. That seems to do all right. controlling temp after a few miles on the trails. And then some kind of head covering. You can get those for fairly cheap, 30 bucks or so, to cover your head, covers your mouth. And provides warmth for your face when the cold air hits it. So that's something I wear underneath. And then I have a nice 45 North winter hat that covers my ears, biking hat. That takes care of the ear situation if your ears get cold. So that was section 2. As you can see, it's nice and fun and flowy. Nicely groomed intermediate trail. Get the blood pumping. 3 and 4 are a kind of climbing skill level a little bit. Just longer climbs and descents. Just where you have to pay a little more attention when you're in snow to make sure that you're balanced on the bike and you're not gonna snow plow into a corner after picking up speed on a descent. So an obvious tip in the winter for water bottles freezing in the cold, start with filling your water bottle with hot water, and you won't have that issue anymore. That's a very easy hack and problem to get around to stay hydrated. All right, let's get to it. Section 3. Let's see, what else haven't I covered for any kind of advice and tips on gear? or bike setup. If you do get studded tires, make sure they're tubeless. If you've ever held a fat bike tire tube, there has some significant weight to those. Getting a simple solution is to go tubeless, get tubeless compatible tires, get rid of those things. That's easily about 1.5 pounds of weight on your bike you're carrying around. And then also obvious benefits of tubeless. So you can run lower pressure. You do have more of a wider contact point on the trail, so you don't slip as much, get more traction. And with the lower PSI, it gives you that effect, a little bit of effective full suspension, just with it being able to adapt to the terrain better, which is always appreciated, especially when you have a full suspension bike and you ride that majority of the year. I did that this year finally, and don't regret that one bit. The nice thing about snow is that it lets you know ahead of time of where slippery areas have caused people to crash into the snow. So you can tell when someone's went down that, hey, take this a little bit slower and be careful, and learn from someone's mistake prior. That's always a nice benefit of snow. Tells a story. Tree down. New technical feature. So as I was saying, this was a rigid bike when I first bought it, and I opted to invest some money into a suspension fork for it, and mine was the RockShox Bluto, 100 millimeters travel, and it's been terrific. If anyone's on the fence about it, I suggest you do it because it just provides you more versatility on the bike. I can go back to rigid if I want and have it be a street bike or a really well efficient bike packing bike for pedaling on terrain that's not rugged. But on bike packing trips, I want to go off the beaten path more, and you're gonna run into more rugged trails, and having a fork to soften the blow and make the ride much more enjoyable for my hands, and just the vibration overall on a ride is definitely beneficial, and enough of a reason for me to look into it. They're not cheap by no means, but today's bike industry, it seems like there's no issue selling used bike parts or possibly returning it if you don't like it. I've used it for hardtail rides on single track. I've used it for bike packing, double track and gravel roads up north. And the weight, yeah, they're not light. The weight is worth it to me. Just so I'm ready for any kind of situation that comes with a route that you're not, is a first time, or have had reviews saying, you know, there's some pretty rugged areas. This would definitely help that and make it more successful and more enjoyable for you. Especially when you have all that weight on your bike when bike packing. It's a nice luxury for sure. I haven't had any issues with this Bluto. It's been great. Maybe RockShox makes a good product. No surprise there. Been doing it for a while. And I usually keep it on when I do my hardtail setup, and I put my 29-inch wheel set on here for bike packing or single track riding in the summer. Works fantastically. I've taken this thing off of jumps and drops, and even though it's on 100 millimeters of travel, it's always performed well, even when I'm pushing the limits. Let's see here, any other wisdom I can share that I've accumulated over 3-4 years of doing this. Cold weather obviously affects batteries. If you're doing any night riding, make sure to have two lights with you. One on just a low beam on your handlebars, and then you can use the other one on your helmet as a higher beam, so you can see well enough to get away with reserving some battery if the lights don't last as long as you expected it to for the ride. Say the helmet one goes out early and unexpected, well, you still have some juice left in the handlebar one. You can put it in the medium or high mode to get you through the trail system. So it's nice to have two lights for those scenarios. Howdy, sir. Have a good day. And then obviously with phone batteries, if you're doing Strava, it's nice that it does the auto pause for you, so you have to keep on opening your phone during a ride. But a nice cheap hack that anyone can do is by putting it in a wool sock to prevent it from getting cold enough to where it'll shut down middle of a ride. So nothing anyone can't really do. It's just something that will challenge you a little bit more, as long as you're aware of it. It will make you a better rider though. Get some really fun flowy sections because of these climbs though, which is really awesome. That's one of them right there. sunset. Awesome. Sunrise and sunset rides are the best. No doubt about it. So I think I covered any kind of useful information, just in general basic tips and advice for snow biking that will save you time and help guide you to the right decisions, hopefully. I want to just pass on my knowledge and what things work for me on to the next person that's seeking out information on the topic. So it's a great activity. When you're living in a climate like this with 4 seasons, it's really nice to know that you can bike all 4 seasons. And because of these groomed trails and all the work that Mark does to make these available for us is incredible, and I definitely don't take it for granted. It's what keeps me in shape in the winter. I don't have a massive fitness curve come spring every year when I'm doing this to keep my fitness up. So it just makes the summer that much more enjoyable when time comes around in spring and get back on the dirt. So it's a win-win. It's one of the more difficult climbs right there. Just keep low and keep your way forward a little bit. Make sure that front wheel is staying honest. And you don't get up it. This is a great little section here. Climb coming here. Keep those pedals spinning and you'll get up. Get up it. It goes up, let's come down. Oh, it's incredible the conditions these trails are in right now. It's just amazing. awesome full section here, one of my favorites in this part. And remember, I'm in the snow and no dropper post here. I really like to take this one fast. For other groomed trails in the metro that Mork supports and takes care of. Elm Creek has groomed trails. And Bertram Lakes. And Monticello has groomed trails. Groomed trails, should I say. And you got Lebanon Hills, Murphy Heron, down south in the metro. Yeah, they provide groomed trails. There's probably a couple others. Oh, Battle Creek, St. Paul. Really got your options if you live in the metro area, so it's pretty awesome. That was one of the last tough ones there. there you have it. Those are the 4 sections of Hillside here. It roughly gives you about 7 miles or so. Roughly about 800 feet of elevation. A great little trail system that is soon just going to get better and better. And also a great option for winter biking as well. With that being said, hopefully this video helped you get an idea, better understanding of what snow biking is, and if there's any useful tips that I know have helped me, helped you, that's even better. Go out and get outside and have some fun. Over and out.